I'm gonna talk about something that you never heard of before. This is not only about making friends. This is about... Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel. It's Yuya. Today I'd like to talk about how did I become fluent in English. Since I started my YouTube channel, a lot of people ask me questions like, how did I become fluent in English? How did I improve my pronunciation? How can I speak English this quickly? And did I grow up in English-speaking country when I was a little kid? In this video, I'm going to be answering all those questions while giving you some tips and tricks on how to improve your English abilities. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before I actually get into the main topic of this video, here's a disclaimer. Even though I publish this kind of English-related videos, I make a lot of mistakes in my English. I'm not AI, I'm not robot, I'm not native English speaker, so when you see the mistakes in my English, please bear with me. English is pretty interesting language. There are a lot of fun experiences you're going to have while improving your English abilities, like by making friends, by making a lot of connection with others, by watching videos or animes in English. Yeah, let's enjoy the English language. Alright, so this is pretty much what I want to say before getting to the main topic of this video. For those who are new to my channel, let me give you my background. I was born and raised in Osaka, and I'm currently 24 years old. I'm currently working for this international corporation while publishing this kind of English-related videos. The first time that I went outside of Japan for a long time was when I was a university student, second year university student for 6 months. That was actually only the time that I was in the English-speaking country for a certain period of time. I have been studying English so seriously for the last 4 years or so, and this period would be the time that I have been studying English so seriously and have been improving my English. I like to talk about study tips based on what I have been doing for the last couple of years. There are basically 3 things that I think are pretty important when it comes to improving your English abilities. First is basic skills in English. What I mean by basic skills in English are grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. These 3 skills are going to be fundamental in your English abilities. For those 3 skills, maybe you gotta do some kind of study things. I also like to use textbook called Grammar in Use when it comes to studying grammar. When it comes to memorizing words, I use Distinction 2000. I still use these books when I want to restudy this knowledge. For pronunciation, I basically improve my pronunciation doing shadowing, doing phonics practice. For those who don't know what phonics is a pronunciation practice which is used for primary school students in the English-speaking country. If you want to master the basics of our pronunciation, practicing phonics is a pretty good idea for you to start with. To sum it up, the first important thing is study fundamentals. This is just my opinion, but I don't think it's totally necessary for Japanese English learners to restudy grammar and vocabulary. Rather than that, what most of the Japanese English learners should do is to study the basics of pronunciation. There are also some rules in pronunciation, so if you can have the understanding of how pronunciation works, you'll be able to use knowledge forever, and then it's going to be very effective because while studying new words, you are also going to learn how to pronounce each word. If you are a Japanese English learner who decided to learn English from scratch again, I highly recommend you to study pronunciation rules first, using phonics as I told you. The second tip is do what you already like in English. Please bear with me, you may have already heard of this before, but there is actually another benefit of doing this. By doing what you already like in English, you will always be motivated to study English. It doesn't feel like a study, to be honest. There's Japanese brothers who said that you gotta watch something you like in English. That's how they learned English. Every time I talk with somebody who has already mastered English from scratch, when I ask them questions like, how did you master English? They always answer me like, oh, I watched this drama, I watched this anime. They used English language to do what they like. For example, in my case, a couple years ago when I was studying English, and what I did is I watched Naruto. I'm in a generation where a lot of people like Naruto, so I decided to watch Naruto in English. And that actually changed my English study. Absolutely. I started to watch other videos and other animes that I already liked in English. Here's another benefit about doing something that you already like in English. You already have the understanding of how story goes, right? So what you have to do is to just focus on English language sound. This is pretty good because the way people learn language is they basically connect their language with a certain context of the culture. Because we already have the understanding of the whole situation, whole context of the anime, you naturally will be able to connect words and phrases to the certain context, the words and expressions that you're going to memorize while watching something won't be relying on translation to your native language. This is the huge benefit of doing something that you already like in English. I'm not trying to show off or I'm not trying to brag about it, but when I passed the ACAN exam last year, I actually didn't study a lot for the ACAN exam. I didn't use ACAN vocabulary textbook. Instead of that, I was always watching lots of media and lots of animes. And because I have already connected a little bit English words to certain context that I can imagine in my head, I was able to naturally pick a certain word or certain expressions. I think this is a proof of a benefit of doing something that you really like in English. You'll be able to connect English words to each context, and then you are not going to rely on the translation to your native language. Here's the last thing that I have been doing for the last couple of years. This is making the environment. Maybe you are thinking this is another step that I've heard of before. Please bear with me again. I'm gonna talk about something that you never heard of before. This is not only about making friends. This is about using all the digital devices, including this iPhone, this TV, your apps, social media, everything, literally everything. And this is going to change your language learning journey because you're going to be surrounded by language almost 24/7. Most people have a social media account. We always consume media in native language, right? But if you want to be serious about your language study, change the language environment by following influencers, YouTubers, or anybody who posts pictures on Instagram in English. Whatever interests you is fine. Just follow somebody that posts something in English or in a target language that you want to master. Majority of our YouTubers that I subscribe to right now are from other countries, from UK, from the United States, from Australia, from Southeast Asia. At first I decided thinking this man's English is the one that I want to sound like. I'm going to mimic his English as much as possible while watching this video. I want to be able to understand what he's saying as well. So since then, I have been watching lots of medias, lots of content on YouTube in English. When I was living with my family, I felt a little bit sorry for them, but when I was watching TV, I changed the settings to English. They told me, don't change settings of TV as well. For your personal devices, that's fine, but for TV, please keep it Japanese. That's what they say. And at the time, I felt sorry, but this is the extent that I'm talking about. Recently, I bought Alexa. I always talk to Alexa in English. Yeah, Alexa, can you wake me up at 7 a.m. in the morning tomorrow?
Second alarm set for 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Like this. Basically, when I talk to her in English, she also responds to me in English, right? So this is how I managed to get the opportunities for me to practice my English. These are all tips and tricks that I want to share in this video. English learning requires a little bit of dedication. You don't have to always think that I'm not improving my English. Trust me, you are improving your English. There's always a gap between your expectation and reality. I also still have a gap in my expectation toward English and the reality of my English. Let's strive for filling the gap between them together. If you are serious about improving your English with this, I'm currently starting my coaching lesson for English learners. If you want to book a call with me online, give me messages online. I also made a textbook to talk about the comprehensive story of my English learning journey. So if you're interested in more details about what I have been doing to improve my English, please go to the LINE account and you can get the free textbook through LINE account. I also made a 50 pages English vocabulary because I have made this textbook with my native English speaker friend. I'm so certain that these 50 phrases are very useful for your daily English conversation or even the business conversation. So if you're interested, get your first textbook online. Alright, thanks so much for watching this video. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.